Well, I promised y'all a pretty good bit of content, so here it comes. Second video in one day. I'm going to change these old brake pads. Now, if you notice, these say Motorcraft on them. And the last time they were changed by Pensacola Police Department at a professional shop. I've got the records on Carfax. Okay. These Motorcraft brakes lasted a hella long time. This thing only run as a cop car for 10 years. And it's been civilian. Well, it's a 2001 and it's 2019 now. So, yeah. Anyway, it's been civilian for quite a few years. But, anyway. What you do is, there's two bolts right here. One right there. And one right there. I've already got the bolts out. Now, most every caliper I've seen had a full-length bolt going all the way through, but apparently not here, so maybe this will be a little easier. I should be able to pull this thing around, and yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it's loose now. Okay. But that's what I like to do, is grab it by the back, because that's where the piston is, and pull it towards you, and be easy, and get a little gap in there, and maybe you can get a tool in between that old pad and the brake disc and pry them open. Now, when you go to put the new ones on, where is it? You're probably going to have a C-clamp to compress that piston back in. Maybe, maybe not. If you're quick enough, maybe not. But let's give it a go. Now these are actually different than any brake system I've ever seen. These actually just sit right there. Most of them clip onto the caliper, the ones I've seen, but okay, whatever. Same basic principle. I took the old brake pad and I'm going to use it for a cushion, because there's actually two cylinders here on this one. Performance brakes, I reckon. And I'm going to use this C-clamp to compress this cylinder and squeeze the brake fluid back up the line and back into the reservoir. And I should be able to, if I'm quick enough, get it back into position and get the bolts in it here. So, alrighty. Oh, and when you're turning this, make sure to go very slow, because that's a lot of pressure you're putting on that, and you don't want to blow something out. Alright, let's get at it. Now, when you're tightening these bolts, you may have had to use a helper wrench, like so, to actually get the caliper off, which is not recommended, but sometimes necessary if you got small wrenches like me. But when you get them back on, really, all you got to do is, it doesn't have to be nearly as tight as it was. You just torque it down as best you can by hand, and then bump it with your palm of your hand, and it should be about tight enough, because you're the one that's going to have to change it later. I mean, obviously you don't want it to fall off, but you want to be able to get it back off without an impact. But that's basically it. And if you've never done the brakes on your vehicle before, you may have some brake fluid overflow where the previous owner was topping off the brake fluid reservoir. That'd be normal, because look at all that pad. All right, that's a 1/4 inch of pad on each side. All right, I mean, my brakes were like gone almost. I mean, they wasn't bad, but they were getting there. Then that's not normal wear. That's where I had the C-clamp on there, opening the caliper back up. Where's the other one? There it is. So yeah, I mean, these are Motorcraft too. So this is Ford brand. This is what Ford puts on their cars. All right, but anyway, if you've done brakes before, that little bolt might throw you, because like I said, most of the time on every stud I've ever seen, the stud went all the way through. The bolt went all the way through. But on these, it don't. And there's also 2 cylinders where everyone I've seen before only had 1. So you learn something new every time. But I'm going to sign off of here for a little bit. Next thing I'm going to get on is that blinker light if I got enough daylight. So, all right, take it easy.